Here. Go figure. Okay, I'd like to call Finance, Ways and Means Appropriations Subcommittee to order. It's March 16th at about 22 minutes after 5 o'clock. Are there any personal orders from the committee? Well, all right. We'll speed right past that. Today we'll hear presentations of appropriation amendment requests by those members that wish to present. Please note that these hearings are informational purposes only and no votes will be taken. We will call members in the order that they arrive to the room. So please limit your comments to 2 minutes per amendment. Members, please refer to your dashboard for a full list of the appropriation amendment requests. No outside testimony will be allowed. And first up is Chairman Doggett. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is an honor to be back before you today. School safety is something that I care deeply about. In November of 1995, I was a student at Richland High School in Linville, Tennessee, when a school shooting occurred. That experience profoundly shaped my path in law enforcement and public service. I'm committed to working on making schools in Tennessee safer for future generations. Tennessee has invested heavily in school security, committing more than $200 million after the Covenant school shooting to strengthen physical protections, school resource officers, and safety infrastructure. The next step is investing in tools that help identify and mitigate threats before violence occurs. Homicide Zero provides an evidence-based prevention system built on threat assessment work of Dr. Rob Moore in Lawrence County, where more than 400 assessments helped identify students needing intervention and prevention of potential acts of violence. The platform replaces guesswork with validated behavioral science, giving schools teams standardized threat assessment protocols, data-driven screening tools, and coordinated intervention strategies to address concerning behavioral early. Threat assessment teams currently lack this tool and a standard protocol to help identify valid threats and mitigate safety concerns. What I'm asking for today is for $174,000 for a statewide pilot program that would allow school systems across our state to test and implement this technology, creating a shared system that helps identify risk across districts and ensures every student receives the same standard of safety and prevention. At $6 per student annually, this cost-effective next step in school safety, connecting Tennessee existing investments to a proactive prevention system that helps stop threats before they reach the classroom. And Mr. Chairman, that is budget amendment request HA 230.
Thank you, sir.
The next one on my list, Mr. Chairman, if you will allow me to proceed, is budget amendment request number 232 for the Giles County Water Alliance. This is for a countywide water infrastructure study to be conducted there in our county. Like many counties, we are struggling with the future of water and water quality across our state, and in rural Giles County, that's one of the issues that we have there, trying to find and implement a new source of water. That is for $500,000. The next item on my list is amendment number 231 for the Lincoln County Volunteer Fire and Rescue that Speaker Marsh and I share that county, and this is for the construction of a firefighter training facility to help aid in their efforts there. The next item I have is item number 233, which would go to the city of Loretta for the purchase and installation of a 26 kilowatt backup generator for the public safety building that they have there. That's $13,000. And my final request, Mr. Chair and committee, is for $2 million reoccurring under budget item number 229 for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency for contracting with the USDA Wildlife Services for wild hog, and other wildlife damage control operations. I thank you for your time, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We appreciate it very much. Next is Representative Jones. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am wanting to talk about HA 106. And what this one does is when we gave the money last year to the counties that were impacted by the floods, they had a lot of damage and they didn't share it with the cities. And so this just takes into account the four cities, Elizabethton, Irwin, Mountain City, and Newport, that were had flood damage, and appropriating the same percentage based on populations of the city within the county.
Okay, thank you. There's two down, right?
That's correct, but I just wanted to talk about that one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Chairman Powers. You're fine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to talk about HA 205. It's for the Campbell County Children's Center. This is a center that serves a 5-county area. I have 3 of those counties in my district, and they take in children that are removed from homes, and they meet with DCS and law enforcement. They interview these kids. They keep them overnight. They take care of them while they're being placed in foster homes. And they serve a 5-county area. They live completely off grants from the state and the federal government. So wanted to mention that one. The Claiborne, next one is HA 206, Claiborne Medical Center. They're wanting to build a new hospital. That's $10 million. Their hospital is like 70 years old. So they wanted me to bring that request forward. Also, the next one would be HA 207. And I need to make a correction on that. That should be Campbell County Historical Society, not Claiborne County. So it's a technical correction there. You see some of the services that they provide. They're also doing a celebration with the 250th anniversary of our country, and that's going to be part of that budget request there too. So just those 3 items. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next is Representative Sherrill. You recognize, sir.
Chairman, the number on this one here is number 212. It would be 6.6 million for the Upper Cumberland Airport. And due to the increase in business in the Upper Cumberland Airport, which is Putnam and White County, they need money to expand their terminal to help accommodate for more travelers and more education in the area.
Okay.
And the next one is number 209, and it's for $100,000 for the White County Fire Association. The roof in the building is getting very bad inside, and the fire is needing to repair it, and the money would also be used to upgrade the building at the White County Fairgrounds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next is Deputy Speaker Marsh.
Mr. Chairman, I will yield to Chairman Rudd. He's only got one. He needs to go, if you don't mind.
I don't mind if that's your choice. Chairman Rudd, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. I came before you last year to ask for $5 million for a Salem Highway, State Route 99, because of massive growth in the area. Last year, I had the second fastest growing district in the state and had to shed 35,000 voters. This year, we started at 70, and I'm already at 84,000 in my district. So it's going to be in the top 2 or 3 this time as well. And this particular area of the Rockville School Zone area is a massive area that's growing out of control and just barely on the outskirts of Murfreesboro. And we got 4 new subdivisions under construction near this, and we have 7 existing ones surrounding the school zone. And this highway needs widening desperately. It's a state route. Last year, I got an estimate from TDOT that it was going to cost about $5 million. And they came up, I asked for this, and I was somewhat assured behind the scenes that probably going to get $2 million. And then TDOT came up with $1.7 million last year. They've $3.7 million, excuse me. And this year they've cut that in half and only going to do about a third of the job. So I really need the rest of this done. We need 2 turn lanes on either side of the state route and merge lanes for the school zone. So I'm asking for 5, but that's the complete project. The TDOT is still offering 1.7. So if I could come up with $2 million, that would really get this project done. And I've been working on it for 3 years, and I really need your help on that. It's a safety issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. We're back to Deputy Speaker Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my number 1 is HA 012, which is item 147. City of Fayetteville, we have a Count Blunt Historic State Park in Fayetteville. This $25,000 recurring would be for them to keep the mowing and the upkeep of this park. I'm afraid if in future elected officials, they might drop that. And this is such a fabulous park. I want to keep it up forever. So that's number 1. The other one is HA 11, item number 146, United Way of South Central Tennessee for it's a launch point program for Bedford County, Coffee, Lincoln, Moore, Rutherford, and Warren counties for $500,000. The next one is item 148, HA 013, South Central Tennessee Development Districts, $300,000 for dead animal removal. We have in our county there, we have in all of our counties in this region of 13 counties, we have a lot of animals that do die, and they do come by and pick them up, and it's a safety in removing from the farms. The next one is HA 14, item 149, Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration. We're asking for $2.7 million to expand and rebuild 3 RV parks with sewer and water. Next one's item 150, HA 12, Community Clinic of Shelbyville and Bedford County. This is for dental programs for low-income and uninsured children. This is $100,000. This one is very worthwhile. They're taking care of a lot of people that cannot afford to take care of themselves. The next one is item 151, HA 33, Carriage House Players of Lincoln County and Fayetteville for purchasing and installing fire suppression systems for $500,000 so that they can operate in their new building. The next one is HA 34, Science Alliance, Tennessee, to support on-site STEM education programs, mobile education programs, teacher education, and community outreach statewide through the 6 Science Alliance museums for $600,000. The next one is item 153, HA 38, Tennessee Distillers Guild to support strategic market initiatives for the Tennessee Whiskey Trail, $500,000. And the last one, item 154, HA 238, Greater Tennessee Chapter of the Associated Builders and Contractors for the construction of a trade academy program for Nashville and Knoxville, $442,000. We've done part of that before, and it's been very, very successful. That's all of them, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Next is Chairman Hale.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee. First one is HA 215 for Jackson County for the county fairgrounds. Of course, they don't have a fair anymore, but they still use that we've got ball fields there. They do the Polk Salad Festival, a lot of events that they have there, and just for some upgrades and infrastructure things there. My next one is HA 216. this is probably my big one that is very important. There's going to be a 11-month shutdown of Highway 70 between Carthage and Lebanon. And due to that, they're going to have to put ambulance, emergency people and stuff on one side of the river. And so they're going to have to be going to Lebanon a lot and just different impacts that it's going to cause. So to help offset that, and we discussed this with TDOT when we had a meeting with the local mayors and local officials. So that's $1 million ask of Smith County to help offset those increases of expenses due to the road closure for 11 months. HA 217 is for Cannon County. Again, small rural county for their fairgrounds. One of the big things they do every year over there is the FFA Lions Club tractor pull. So that's a big thing over there. And they're needing to do some upgrades to the fairgrounds. They have 4-H chicken sale there and a lot of different events. And then lastly, this was an ask I had last year, and I know we set up a grant fund to do this, but the grant fund was very small and wasn't able to even make a dent in it. So HA 218 is an ask of $250,000 for the improvements of the Cannon County Courthouse to help with that historic courthouse to do some needed improvements. With that, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next is Representative Fritz. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring to you Hotel Alpha 121, requesting $3.2 million for the Barron Heights Homeless Veterans Transition Center in Memphis. This facility accounts for about 27% of the beds available in Memphis, Tennessee. My 23-24 estimates are 150 homeless veterans in Shelby County and 300 in West Tennessee. While the federal government has found it okay to continue to send us off to war for 26 years, I've been unable to get them to care for these homeless veterans. 1994, Barron Heights began its service of trying to transition these men. This is a men's facility back into productive life. They were given a $2 million grant a couple years ago from the VA and an unfunded mandate to be able to move from dormitory style to individual type rooms. This $3.2 million is being requested to do that. This is a similar request to last year. We made this request for $3.2 million from UT Knoxville's diversity and inclusion, which UT leadership could not tell me what they used it for. I thought we could use it for veterans. And as of July of last year, one of the Northeast Tennessee papers reported Tennessee as being 38th in care for veterans. We can do better than that in the volunteer state. This will help put beds back into place, cover the unfunded mandate the federal government has given, and make sure that these men have an opportunity to lead successful lives after they've served their country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You have a question? Chairman, go ahead.
Thank you. Excuse me. What's the unfunded mandate? I just got the very last part of that. What was the unfunded mandate?
The federal government had thank you for the question, Mr. Chairman. The federal government had issued a mandate that Barron Heights move from dormitory style into an individual room. And they have issued a threat, if you will, that they're going to pull back the $2 million that they've given them. They give them $2 million to do this a few years ago, Mr. Chairman. And so it's left them with a deficit on estimate of $3.2 million. They need to be able to complete that project.
Is the deficit operational one, or is it from the expense of making modification to the federal government?
Thank you for that question. It is for making modification to the building to bring that building up to speed. They have the property procured. They just need the funds to be able to finish construction.
All right, thank you.
Leader Camper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Representative, for bringing this. Did they lose the $2 million already, or is it still held? If we get the matching dollars, would they be able to do this?
Thank you for the question, ma'am. They have not lost the $2 million yet. We took all of our federal delegation out over the past couple summers and tried to get federal support for this. So far, none of our federal delegation in Tennessee's delivered a dime.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you, Representative. I appreciate it very much. Chairman Martin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee. This one comes to me from the UT Health Science Centers, but deals with maternal health and the importance of that. So this is creating a statewide pilot program offering live interactive childbirth education classes for all Tennessee births over the next fiscal year. The study from UPenn showed that by utilizing these online services, ED visits was down 50% from pregnant mothers. Breastfeeding increased by over 60%, successfully reducing anxiety scores from expectant mothers, and all leading to decreased premature births. And my second one comes from United Way, dealing with the Tennessee 211 program. They are requesting a $3.8 million investment to strengthen the state's primary information and referral system. 211 is the state's front door for connecting residents to critical services, including food assistance, housing, mental health care, child care, and disaster response. The state investment will ensure that every Tennessean, particularly those in rural communities, can quickly access the help they need while also providing policymakers with better real-time data on needs across the state. Thank you, Chairman and Committee.
Thank you, Chairman. Next, Representative Love.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. The item that I am referencing now is item 142, HA 203, and it is a non-recurring request for Meharry Medical College in the amount of $250,000. And this refers specifically to the expansion of the wellness project, which has been in existence for many years, and it covers many of our colleges in Tennessee, and it allows Meharry Medical College to engage in creating what they call student health ambassadors that engage in the work of pre-testing and then a intervention and then a post-test that allows them to expand their knowledge, but also to make an impact in their communities. And just to give an example of the universities that are covered by this project, Fisk University, Lane College, Lemoyne-Owen College, Austin Peay State University, Middle Tennessee State University, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. The students go through a training at Meharry Medical College, and they are designed to address issues around chronic disease prevention, hypertension, diabetes, obesity, HIV and AIDS, maternal and infant health, cancer prevention and screening, and mental and behavioral health. Over the years of existence at Meharry Medical College, this wellness project has trained over 1,000 students across the state of Tennessee, and they have engaged again in the Summer Institute. And so the desire is to just ask for an additional $250,000 in non-recurring funds to allow them to expand their work into other parts of the state of the universities. And that completes my presentation, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Love. I appreciate that very much. Next, Representative Hemmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the House Appropriations Committee. Direct your attention to item number 89 for a appropriation request for your consideration to the Department of Environment and Conservation for $3.2 million for the purposes of engineering and constructing a parking lot for the Heritage Ridge Trail at Radnor Lake State Park. As you've been aware, Radnor Lake has sustained a lot of damage during Winter Storm Fern over the past couple of weeks, and this is something that we're hopeful to do to help get them back on track, but also because it is one of our largest state, most visited state parks. The Friends of Radnor Lake actually put forth about $8 million in private funds to purchase this land. Unfortunately, it came too late in the budget cycle. And so what we're trying to do really is just pull forward some funds for next year to help get this this parking lot to access this new area. If you've been to Radnor Lake lately or know about it, frequently we have two parking lots right now, and they're just overrun. You have to wait in line to actually get in there. So this opens up a whole new section, again, that was privately funded from the Friends, and we're really hoping to get this done this year. And the second item for your attention is item number 90 for the Travelers Rest Historic House Museum to improve the public access, including improvements to the site, circulation, paving, and lighting in the amount of $35,700. Travelers Rest is our oldest a historic home open to the public here in Tennessee with its origin starting in 1799. It's a great facility, does a lot of children's and community programs, and we're hoping to help them get this area back open and improvements done as well. And I graciously appreciate your consideration for these two worthy projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Next is Chairman Hawk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I'm not sure which item it is. It's HA 224 associated with my name on there. It's
It's page 5, committee.
page 5. HA 224, that is for the Tennessee Support and Training for Exceptional Parents, also known as 10-STEP. 10-STEP is seeking $500,000 in state funding to expand staff and services with an increased focus on reaching rural and foster families and strengthening collaboration within schools, agencies, and referring organizations. 10-STEP is a statewide nonprofit serving families of children, youth, and young adults with disabilities who are receiving or eligible for early childhood, special education, and youth to adulthood transition services. Since 1989, Tennessee's only federally designated parent training and information center has helped parents understand special education rights and processes, help them to prepare for educational planning meetings, and collaborate meaningful with school teams. During the most recent 5-year federal grant cycle, 10-STEP responded to over 475,000 responses for assistance by phone or email, provided individualized support to almost 1,800 families, and attended nearly 600 school planning meetings, and provided training and outreach through in-person and virtual workshops and resource dissemination. These folks do an incredible job making sure that parents know how to navigate their school system for their children with special needs. So that's important. It's $500,000. It says non-recurring, but I would love to see that recurring if we could. A second item I'll go to, Mr. Chairman and members, is HA 037, also associated with my name. Again, HA 037. This is a $20 million transfer of dollars for the Department of Transportation for the sole purpose of supporting the rehab and improvements of our state's short line railroads. This is supported by a letter from the Senate Transportation Committee, as well as the Senator Bo Watson, Chairman of Finance. They're supporting this $20 million non-recurring for our short line railroads. And lastly, for our higher ed commission, HA 004, also associated with my name on there. This is $300,000 recurring for the Tennessee Higher Ed Education Commission for the sole purpose of providing salary market rate adjustments. This is something that we have needed to do for quite some time, and it would be applied to specific roles to bring salaries in line with prevailing pay rates. Those are my three that are very important to me, Mr. Chairman and members.
Chairman Williams.
Thank you, Chairman Hawk. Just a quick question on that salary market adjustment for THEC. Did they do a salary study, or is this what they think that it's going to be? And if you do, let me just say it this way. If they did do a salary study, could you send it to Chairman Hicks' office?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The information I have is there's an attachment for context and greater explanation, but I do not have that salary survey with me. I'll see if I've got it, Chairman Williams.
Yes, you just send it to Chairman Hicks. It'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
With the railroad business, I do think you're on the right track.
We'll be here all night.
Okay. Next, Representative Alexander.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Committee.
It's page 1, Committee.
Page 1, I have the first 6 bills, appropriation request. The first one being $44,150 non-recurring from through the Department of Finance and Administration for the sole purpose of Good Samaritan Ministries located in Johnson City. That is for them to, we have eye doctors that are doing eye checks and helping indigent care get eyeglasses. I've asked for this for several years. They desperately need to update their eye equipment, and it's not a very big ask and they do a tremendous amount of good. Number 2 is item It's for $3 million for the Tennessee Association of Fairs. This would give $500,000 to the Tennessee State Fair. It would give $500,000 to any eligible fairs with over 50,000 paid in agricultural premiums, and the remainder to all eligible county fairs. This is very important for us to continue to keep our local fairs so that we can be great feeder system for our state fair. I would appreciate that also. Number 3 is for the appropriation of direct support professionals. This was a bill that Patsy Hazelwood did before she left us, and it was one that I co-sponsored. It was a bill in which she got a pay raise for DSP workers. DSP workers are people who are working with our disabled individuals and our most at-risk patients. And they are, their average wage right now is $15.68. And it's hard to get people who are willing to work with disability people. We just want to raise that 4%. And so that's what this appropriation does. It's just a continuation of something good that Patsy started. Number 4 is $659 for East Tennessee State University for the non-formula units for Quillen School of College of Medicine and the Gatton College of Pharmacy and the Family Medicine Department at ETSU at the same manner as other non-formula specialized units would be. The next one is number 5. It's for $500,000 non-reoccurring to the Department of Finance and Administration for the sole purpose of making grant in such amount to Coalition for Kids. Coalition for Kids is an after-school care program that's doing tremendous work in our region, and they are got school systems begging them to come in there because they are at a 98% literacy on target 3rd grade reading level for every kid that comes out of there. Very good program. So that's what that is for. Number 6 is for appropriations for $198,000 non-recurring for the Department of Finance and Administration for the sole purpose of replacing our gym floor at our Boys and Girls Club. It's very old, and we need to be able to get kids in there playing again. So that's what those appropriations are for. And I humbly ask you to consider them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Committee, next page is 14, and Chairman Todd, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 220 HA007, requesting $10,000 non-recurring for the Regional Interfaith Association, RIFA, in Jackson, Tennessee, to be utilized for general operations. They cover a lot of West Tennessee, and they're an incredible nonprofit. They've been making a significant difference by providing food, clothing, and essential services to those in need throughout West Tennessee for 43 years. They offer various community outreach programs, including their food pantry, which is the heart and soul of their operation. With additional funding, it's the hope that RIFA will continue to provide services to West Tennesseans for many years to come. I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, Chairman. Next, committee, page 5, Representative Hakeem.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I have 3 appropriations to ask of you. The first is the Bessie Smith Cultural Center. The center has something called the Dream Forward Project, which is an ambitious, transformative procedure to bring about a state-of-the-art culture and history museum that fully integrates Chattanooga's African-American heritage into the broader community's heritage. And the request is $500,000 for the planning stage of this effort. The city and the county will be assisting as far as the actual building of the project. And so that's one request, Mr. Chairman. The second is an entity by the name of Community Haven. What these individuals have done is work with the Chattanooga Police Department, and we can bring you data that shows that crime is down, Community involvement is up in that community. It's a real working relationship between police department and the entity Community Haven. That's also a one-time request of $500,000. The third is a request for the Alton Park Development Corporation. Of course, there's a need for housing throughout our cities, and this money would be used to build housing on land that they already have under their control or they own. And it's in a community, disadvantaged community, with the effort is to put something in front of people that they can strive for and work toward as a goal. And there's a request there here also of $500,000. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.
Thank you, Representative. Next committee on page 8, Representative Langford, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. The first item I have is a $125,000 non-recurring grant made to Montgomery County for the purpose of paving a parking lot and installing HVAC systems in a Lone Oak Community Center. A few years ago, the Montgomery County government purchased a former church in an extremely rural part of Montgomery County, and we've been working to try to get a community center that's desperately needed out there. Contractor has been selected, but as we know, with renovations, you always run into unforeseen circumstances, and this grant would help get us over that final hurdle and make this project accessible to the youth and elderly out there. The second amendment I have is number 134. This is a $2 million recurring grant to the Montgomery County school system for the expansion of early technical college high school program, including internship opportunities and liability insurance coverage for students. We've got a lot of business coming into Montgomery County, and we have such a great early technical college. College isn't for every student, and the students that are participating in this program, they're just amazing. I've toured the space, and this was something that's very near and dear to my predecessor, Jeff Burkhart, and that's something I wanted to carry on and try to fund this going forward.
Thank you, Chairman Williams.
Thank you. Just had a follow-up on that. You do appreciate, obviously, we honored Chairman Burkhart earlier today. Did this school system receive, because some of the funds that we set aside for high schools and middle schools for CTE, do you know, if you don't know the answer, if you can just get back to Chairman Hicks, that'd be great. If they received any of those grant monies originally for the CTE grants that were appropriated to every high school, middle school in the state, if this would be an additional money or whether this would be a first ask for them?
I do not know that, but I can get back to Chairman Hicks.
I didn't expect you to know, but if you can get it back to Chairman Hicks, that'd be great. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Committee, we're on page 3. Representative Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, committee. And so the first item I have is item number 43, HA 133, and it's for Be Her Hero. And some legislation that I brought forward for several sessions has to do with menstrual products and allowing those menstrual products to be in schools. And I was able to meet some really just passionate young women that were very impressive. And one of those was Eliza Girton. And she got involved with the legislation. And I got to know more about her initiative, which she started at age 10. She started Be Her Hero because she realized that there was not access to essential feminine products. And many students in her community, in her school, were missing school. And so she wanted to make sure that they had the ability to have those supplies. Since its founding in 2022, the organization has donated more than 65,000 products to schools, shelters, and community partners across Greene County and surrounding areas. And her organization was instrumental in securing a lot of those products during Hurricane Helene and distributing those. And I know that she'll do a great job with those dollars that we're asking for. We're asking for $50,000 in non-recurring funds. Then I have item number 44, which is HA 134, which is for the Boys and Girls Club in Tennessee. I know that we've made a significant investment in Boys and Girls Club, but we are asking for a $5 million non-recurring ask. The program has grown So between 2021 and 2024, the number of youth that have been served annually has grown from 43,377 to 72,392, with an average daily attendance during the school year increasing from 5,467 students to 9,875, a 75% increase. And so these dollars will just help with that growth, help to secure those programs in which they do all kinds of homework assistance. They do a lot of STEM activities, and then also they are a good after-school program and help with childcare. So with that, I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, Representative. Committee, we're on page 14 now with Chairman Terry.
And thank you, Chairman and Committee. And as you all are aware, we are in a mental health crisis. And so I have two amendments dealing with that. Item number 218, Amendment 239. This is an ask for $5 million for the purpose of supporting statewide FDA clinical trials researching ibogaine as a potential treatment for a range of mental health conditions, including post-traumatic stress disorder and opioid use disorder. The funding is specifically designated for clinical research and would be administered through the Council on Emerging Behavioral Health Treatments, should that bill become law. And the second item that I have is item 219, House Amendment 240. And this is for $125,700 in non-recurring funds to the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. The funding is designated for the sole purpose of supporting suicide prevention services and outreach. And I'd appreciate your consideration.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Chairman Williams.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Terry, for that. Appreciate your efforts around suicide prevention. In the base budget this year, the governor's already included $500,000 in recurring revenue to the Jason Foundation, which is centered somewhat in that same space as Suicide Prevention Network. The question is this appropriation request the same for mental health and substance abuse themselves, the department, or is this for another entity like Jason Foundation?
Thank you. It's for the department in order for them for outreach for the department.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. We're on page 12, Committee, Representative Scarborough.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members. I've got several here, so I'm going to be very brief. The first one is the Museum of Appalachia for supporting the preservation of historic buildings and collections and the development of educational programs about Appalachian history and heritage. It's a beautiful museum, been around for several years, and just a great service to our kids, especially for field trips and so forth, an amount of $10,000, non-recurring. The second one is Green McAdoo Cultural Center, which is there to preserve the history of Clinton's effort for desegregation of the Clinton 12. And again, great museum, very interactive, and that's $50,000 recurring. The next item is City of Oak Ridge. Last year, the budget was approved for them to receive earmarked amount of $2.5 million for body cameras for the police department. However, the wording did not allow them to purchase anything but the body cameras. They needed to be able to store it. They need hardware as well. So they've held up on that program, and we just need to make sure that they actually get that funding this year. And I think wording has been taken to make that happen. And again, that was approved last year, and it's unexpended balance. The next one's the Department of Environment Conservation entity, and it's the acquisition of a place called Clark Center Park, which is in Oak Ridge, and is currently under ownership of the Department of Energy. And there's going to be an appropriate sum amount. They're trying to come up with that figure to acquire that and become a state park. And then the one I'm really proud about, and I was telling someone about it just a while ago, is Rome State Community College. We're in Oak Ridge right now, in that region. We're in kind of a nuclear renaissance 2.0. And the Rome State Community College has developed a program called Nuclear Technology Associative Applied Science Program. And the most recent graduate we had, she after a 2-year associate's degree, she started out with a starting salary of $80,000. These are great paying jobs in the Oak Ridge area, but they do have to have some training. And I'm asking for a non-recurring amount of $250,000 to go toward Rome State Community College. And the last one, this is for completing a facility that would match up with the University of Tennessee and what Y12 and Department of Energy have already built they're building a, let me flip over and get to that real quick. They're building, it's going to be making the form of a grant in such amount that the Roanoke State Industrial Development Board to be used completing the companion facility, University of Tennessee, Knox and Y12 is for a security prototype center. So we already got one building coming in. This will match it, and this will actually, increase the development of prototypes and save us a lot of money moving forward. It is a large sum of non-recurring funds at $28 million, and it goes and it'll be for the Department of Energy.
Okay. Thank you, Representative. Committee, we're back on page 3 with Representative Chisholm.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've brought a few. So my first one is HA 092, and I'm requesting $100,000 for the African April Cultural Awareness Festival, for the annual African April Cultural Awareness Festival. That was in the budget for a long time, and I think that's good money for us to invest in because of the multi-million-dollar economic impact that it has in the city of Memphis. So that is one of the appropriation that I would ask for. Number 2 is HA 093, and that is for the Christopher Pugh Center. I'm asking for $350,000 for their cognitive based workforce development and training and mentoring for youth. This program is so important because I got a chance to go and see their work. And they take young men, some who have been incarcerated, and they teach them life skills. They get them mentors, and they do a lot of things to make sure that the recidivism rate goes down. And that's one of the programs in Memphis who are really doing great work, who deserves a second look by this committee and other committees as well. So I just wanted to openly advocate for them. Number 3 is for HA 094, and it's for Family Matters Inc. For the Affirm program in Memphis, where we're asking $5 million for that. And my last is HA 208, and that's for School Seed Foundation, for the New Day Tennessee program for foster children that have aged out of foster care, and I'm asking for $300,000 for that. And with that, thank you all for your consideration.
Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And on the Africa in April 39th, they've been actually having this festival for almost 40 years, which they should name it the International African in April Cultural Awareness, because people from all over the world, not just Tennessee, but Tennessee attend this festival. Isn't that true?
That's correct. From my understanding, there's been multiple countries that have came and been highlighted, as well as people coming into the city of Memphis to see this.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just wanted the members to know about this festival because it is serious. It's 40 years. And as I said, people from all over the world attend this, as well as Tennessee. And we're talking about all nationalities, cultures. Matter of fact, if he doesn't do it, I'm inviting you, members, to this festival this year. On my dime. I'm paying for it.
All right, there you go.
You in?
Put a check mark by his name up here. Okay, committee, we're on page 5 now. Representative Harris.
Thank you, Chairman, and members of the committee. If you would turn your attention to item number 80, that's House Appropriations Amendment 199. And I'm representing the Big We, which is the official name for the organization, but they oversee the Claiborne Temple, which is located in Memphis, Tennessee. And so we're making a request for $10 million in state funding for Claiborne Temple in Memphis. It's one of the most important civil rights landmarks in Memphis and across the state of Tennessee. Claiborne Temple was the organizational site for the 1968 Memphis sanitation workers strike, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the sanitation workers gathered. It's not just a Memphis landmark, it's a Tennessee landmark and a national treasure. In April of 2025, Claiborne Temple was damaged by an arson fire and was ruled an arson by the ATF. threatening the preservation of this historical site. So this funding will support reconstruction and restoration while also establishing a statewide entrepreneur accelerator program housed at Claiborne Temple to help cultivate small businesses and economic opportunities across Tennessee. So by investing in Claiborne Temple, we are preserving history while building the future. I will also add that they have started a $75 million capital campaign to help with the rebuilding of this facility, as well as receive some funding already federally, as well as locally. And so they're coming to the state for $10 million. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. We're committee back to page 1 with Representative Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. 2 items that I have before you today. Item number 9, I share with Representative Reedy. On October 10th of this past year, the Accurate Energetic Systems factory experienced a devastating explosion. That explosion was so large, it was felt more than 20 miles away and registered a 1.6 on the Richter scale. 16 people died in that explosion. This plant sits right on the county line between Hickman County and Humphreys County. And the response to that required weeks into almost more than a month of EMA, EMS, Sheriff's Department, from county deputies from both Humphreys and Hickman County to provide 24/7 coverage of the site. They had to secure the site. They had to work the investigation with the federal investigators that came in. And what has resulted in that is an expenditure of the entire county's budget that they had to cover overtime expenses for these departments. And so this request of $53,100 consists of $29,250 for Humphreys County and $23,860 for Hickman County, in order to allow them to refill or backfill those expenditures to cover that, so they have some monies remaining for the rest of the year. And again, not only were they hit with that in August, but these 2 counties were also devastated with Winter Storm Fern and additional overtime expenditures that they had to have during that. Item number 10, Mr. Chairman, again, thank you for your time here. That is a request for Lewis County. Again, that one is directly related to the response to Winter Storm Fern. And as my friend on the committee here from Newport can testify, the expenses of cleaning up after these devastating natural disasters is astronomically high. And it is estimated that debris removal just for Lewis County alone, which was one of the hardest hit with the ice storm, is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 million. And even with FEMA coming in and offering 75% of that coverage, there would have to be a match for the local level and TEMA that would leave Lewis County paying about 12.5% of the cost for that debris cleanup. This request of $625,000 represents that estimated 12.5% cleanup cost for the local match. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Committee, we're on page 14, Representative Vital.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm here on behalf of item 224. House Amendment 31 seeks to provide reoccurring funding for the Tennessee Farmland Preservation Fund operated by the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. Tennessee continues to lose farmland across the state as we continue to grow and expand. At the same time, farmers feel the pressure and want to maintain those properties across the state. Established by our General Assembly in 2025, the Farmland Preservation Program seeks to provide a voluntary, incentive-based option for farmers who are looking to ensure their farm remains a farm for years to come. While the program is still in the rulemaking process with the Department of Agriculture, the expressed demand by landowners and farmers across the state in all 3 Grand Division gives great optimism for the success of this program. And thus, the quick expenditure of the $25 million appropriated last year will soon be depleted once the program begins. In the 29 other states that have operated this program, the issues with these programs is not the program itself, it's for the lack of available funds to go to producers and farmers with such demand. For example, currently Florida is annually appropriating $200 million reoccurring for the purposes of farmland preservation. This request is for $1 million reoccurring. It will help send a signal to the farmers of Tennessee that this body is serious about preserving farmland across Tennessee, and I encourage your support of this budget amendment as we go forward. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, sir. Chairman Williams?
Yeah, I just had a question. So the goal for your amendment is to take of the $25 million that's non-recurring to make 1 million of it recurring.
No.
It's to add another, well, it's $1 million recurring. What we put in the budget last year was 25 million non-recurring.
Yeah, this would be, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to respond. This would be in addition to the 25 million that was set aside last year to create a $1 million reoccurring fund going into the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Oh, Leader Camper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And are you seeing this 1 million managed separate and apart from the 25 million?
To the best of my knowledge, it would probably be operated as part of the existing program.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Committee, we're on page 8. Leader Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, and I appreciate y'all's patience with all of us and your hard work. I know that this committee doesn't get as much credit as they should for the work that you put in, but it is extremely important, so thank you. Item number 44 is a $750,000 recurring expenditure that would be for the Poison Control Center. The Tennessee Poison Control Center does fantastic work, and they have not had an increase in funding for quite some time. If you're a parent like me, it's probably unlikely that you have not at some juncture called the Tennessee Poison Control Center. It's just kids have a tendency to get a hold of all kind of stuff, and you have no idea if it's an emergency room visit or something that is perfectly fine. And as a parent, it's good to have somebody to call. So, Mr. Chairman, that would be $750,000 recurring for the Tennessee Poison Control Center if this committee saw fit to fund that. Item number 45 is for the Nashville Zoo. Last year, we funded a significant expenditure for the Memphis Zoo. They had raised about $50 million prior to the state partnering with them. I'm proud to say that the Nashville Zoo has raised $51 million for the Forest of Borneo exhibit. I could go on, but you all have been here quite some time. I can only tell you that it would be absolutely epic if it is able to be finished. It would be over a $70 million investment right here in Middle Tennessee, and it is one of the best zoos in the nation, and it would greatly improve it. Item number 46 would be $3.1 million recurring for the Launch Tennessee Center for Ag Innovation, either from existing funds or to move around some funds potentially. I think this would be an excellent investment on the state's part, specifically for ag innovation. The leadership of that particular entity is top-notch and would utilize these funds well. And then last but not least, Mr. Chairman, item number 47 is $8.6 million non-recurring for the Crisis Services Continuum for mental health. Ever since COVID, it has been obvious that we have a significant mental health crisis on our hands here in the state of Tennessee. And just about any funds that we can put towards trying to help Tennesseans that are suffering with mental health issues, I think is money well spent. Mr. Chairman, that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Leader. I appreciate that. Now, some of the folks, I'm sorry, Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Leader. Thank you. I think in your opening statements, you talked about this is an important committee. Did I understand you to say that? Can't take us for granted, but people do.
No, Mr. Chairman, taking this committee for granted would be a horrible error. And I mean it. You do the hard work of making sure that this budget is analyzed. And quite frankly, as evidenced by the fact that we have two guests here that care about y'all deeply, the rest of the room is empty. And that's a real shame because it's the people's money and y'all safeguard it. And I appreciate the work you do.
Thank you for that.
Okay, Chair Lady Moody, I believe you wanted to address the committee.
Thank you for this opportunity. And members, I would be remiss if I didn't actually make sure you know how much the Mid-South Military Museum appreciates your generosity last year. It put us on a great trajectory. And so this year, we're asking for a $40,000 appropriation, and it goes to their current facility. We have some leakage in our museum, and that would certainly help go a long way in that. And also just to continuing to take care of the many donations we get from other areas with the military vehicles, uniforms, all the historical military artifacts that are housed there, just to have it properly displayed for the public to enjoy and to remember the great sacrifice of our veterans. So thank you again for what you've already done for us and considering this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Lady. We're on page 13, Representative Sparks.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I want y'all to hear me out on this. We got a lot of budget requests here. I think this budget request is going to give us a tenfold return on investment. Y'all heard me share this in budget with ECD. Tennessee's partnership with Japan is one of the greatest international success stories in our state's economic history. For more than 4 decades, Japanese companies have invested heavily in Tennessee, bringing opportunity, jobs, and lasting partnerships and friendships. Today, more than 200 Japanese companies operate across our state, investing over $20 billion in our communities, supporting more than 50,000 jobs. Companies like Nissan, Smyrna, Bridgestone Corporation, and others. But this relationship is more than just about economics. This is where I want y'all to hear this. The story is about reconciliation. I shared this with Senator Marsha Blackburn and Bill Haggerty. Our country dropped 2 atomic bombs on the country, Japan, yet we came together. Yet they provided 50,000 jobs, yet they provided $20 million worth of economic impact. This is for a documentary. I've shared this with Stuart McCorder, Bob Raines, film commissioner, MTSU, Tom Neff, who founded the documentary channel. We could utilize MTSU students to tell this story. We could use it as a ECD economic recruiting tool. I've also met with Consul General Japan Watanabe on this, as well as Sammy Arnold with the Japan American Society of Tennessee. Also meet with them this Thursday with the Film Commission and Japan American Society of Tennessee. But that's what this is to tell the story. Many of these members, like Alexander and others in Tennessee, are still alive that can help tell this story. Everyone I've talked to seems very supportive, and I do think this can help us recruit more, not only Japan companies, right, Chairman Williams and Halsey, but other Asian companies as well. So this is one of the few, I think, that can return a strong economic impact. That's what this $379,000 request is, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Committee, we're on page 2, Leader Camper. Oh, you did have one more, but I thought you were skipping it.
No, I don't want to skip it. No, sir. No, this is, we all want to take care of our seniors, and the city of Smyrna is building a regional center for seniors that has visitors from Williamson County, Wilson County, Cannon County, as well as Davidson County. They've already raised $3 million. They need some more funds. So we're requesting $50,000 to help build this regional center. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Page 2, Leader Camper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. I will focus my energy around the conferences that are planned to come here to Nashville. We know that every time there is a conference, it puts a lot of money in our account, our revenue streams here, and have a huge impact on our economy. So we have the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority International Boule Conference coming. We have the National Bar Association coming, and we have the Chi Boule chapter of Sigma Pi coming. All 3 of those are bringing their conferences here. We know that Nashville is what I guess people perceive as the it city now, and it's been very good having these conferences, and I'd appreciate if we could fund each of these conferences. The first one on item 23 is at $50,000. Item 24 is at $150,000, and item 26 is at $750,000. Lastly, Mr. Chairman and committee, a better Whitehaven is an organization in Memphis, and I know it says Whitehaven, that's where they are, but what they do is provide small loans to small micro loans to small businesses, and there are a lot of small businesses that are at a point where they're functioning, they're operating, they need just a little loan to help them after they've plateaued, try to help them grow their business, and that's what that 100,000 would be for item 25. And I guess I do have one other one. Center for Employment. Oh, yeah, this is the group that's working with formerly incarcerated individuals. And you all know that I'm kind of passionate about helping people as they're trying to transition back into society and getting an opportunity to stabilize their family, find employment, be a functioning member of society. What this organization does is help people that are dealing with that. And I'm only asking for $500,000 for that group. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Thank you, Leader. We're down to the last one, page 10, Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm going to focus on 165. It's $5 million and pretty self-explanatory for Lemoyne College. But as I was sitting here, Mr. Chairman, thinking and listening to all the other appropriation requests, I would be willing to take a portion of my $5 million and share it with some of the members that have appropriation requests that are statewide impact. I would be willing to do that. So just wanted to throw that out there. And if I could make a motion, probably not appropriate, but I would make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that every member that did not show up and ask for anything, we should take those dollars and share them among the members that did show up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate you guys.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I just had a question. I did see one of your budget appropriation amendments ask for a car. I will say that when you started serving in the legislature, how many cars could you buy for 50 grand? Probably 10.
You are absolutely right.
That's what I was fixing to say. One car now or 10 cars then. I think is what it was. Thank you, Chairman.
All right. Is there any other business in front of the committee today? I want to thank you so much for, no, I won't share mine, but that you could have, the temptation is to be tied up someplace else after a long day like today, and you came to the committee, and I appreciate it very much. So there's no other business. We stand adjourned.